This story happened to me when I was 16 years old. For a little context, I'm a slightly smaller than average female. On the night when this incident took place, I was sitting downstairs in the den, watching YouTube videos on our family computer. It was a Friday night, and my parents were out on a date. I was enjoying my alone time. Well, I wasn't completely alone. My 9-year-old brother Max was upstairs in his room sleeping, and I was in charge of watching him for the night. Everything was going smoothly until I noticed something out of the corner of my eye. One of the videos I was watching was taking a little longer than usual to load, so the screen was black for a few seconds, with just a spinning white circle in the center of the screen. In the blackness, I was able to catch a glimpse of what looked to be a reflection of a man's face, right outside the window behind me. I quickly turned around, but there was no one there. Regardless, I was really creeped out, so I decided to get up and make sure all the doors were locked in the house. As I was making my way through the bottom floor, turning on all the lights, I heard a knock at the front door. I looked at the clock on the wall. It couldn't be my parents. I wasn't expecting them for another hour at least. I didn't know what to do. I stood frozen, still contemplating my next move, when another knock boomed on the front door. That broke me out of my paralysis. I slowly crept towards the door, not wanting to be heard. I got to the door and peered out of the peephole. On the other side of the door was a man. The same man I saw on the computer screen. The same man that had been staring at me through the window. He was just standing there, smiling into the other end of the peephole with the most disturbing, demented expression I had ever seen. "Go away," I yelled. "I've already called the cops. They're on their way." This was a total lie, but I hoped it would scare the psycho off. I waited a moment, my back leaned up against the door. There was no more knocking. I slowly got on my tiptoes and looked out the door window again. The man was gone. I breathed a sigh of relief. But not even 5 seconds later, I heard the back door come crashing in. I sprinted into the kitchen to grab a knife to defend myself with, and when I did, I could see the psycho standing in the doorway, the same creepy smile on his face. I raced up the stairs and ran into my little brother's room. Max woke up and asked me what was going on. "Get in the closet," I shouted at him in a panicked voice. He looked confused, but he quickly got out of bed and ran into the closet. I slid my phone under the closet door and told him to call 911. The next thing I heard terrified me to my core. "Jessica, come out to play," the man said, slowly walking up the stairs from the sound of his footsteps. How did this freak know my name? I ran into the closet with Max and gripped the knife between both of my trembling hands. I could hear the man walking down the hall, getting closer and closer to the room we were in. Max started to cry. I heard the doorknob slowly turn, and then to my shock, I heard what sounded like a knife clattering on the floor. Just a second after that, I could hear sirens, and the man's footsteps walking down the hall at a fast pace. The cops showed up soon after and cleared the house. While they did that, I called my mom and told her what happened. She and my dad came home right away, and when they got back, one of the officers had some terrifying news for us. Apparently, they found the man a few blocks away from my house, trying to break into a neighbor's home. He was identified as a murderer who recently escaped from prison. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, and to this day I'm still afraid that one day he will come back to get me. After all, he knew my name.